It says you're in the show. The stream is live, it says for me.
We are live. We
Well,
are live, but we haven't officially
this is the green
begun.
room,
This
as
is
you
the
can,
green room.
as audience members can tell because everything's green.
Of course, yeah. If you're not seeing green, you have problems. No,
I
this is
don't
where
see
we
green.
prime. This is where we prime ourselves.
Is that what we're doing?
I don't know.
But what does that entail exactly?
It's like when people do the thing
Oh, the
where
thing.
they warm up their
La la
voices.
la 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 la.
Yeah, right.
Green. I don't see green in this eye.
Or a
You know,
tongue
this eye
twist.
has a problem. And
Yeah.
Friday, I had an eye exam because I was
Yes,
long overdue.
of course.
And at one point, I mean, you're looking through strange things at something on the wall. It's
Yeah.
really a monitor, and half of it's red and half of it's green. And she was asking which letters are clearer based on the background. And this eye is fine because it didn't have the event that this eye had. And I
Right.
had always thought that I lost color, like all the rods or cones or whatever are gone.
Right.
But when I could see the red clearly, so it's the green I can't see in this eye.
Oh,
Yeah,
but I'm guessing, I mean, the brain is amazing. I don't know about yours, but no, I'm just kidding. The brain compensates pretty well, I'm guessing.
the brain compensates in my case. I got all peripheral. It's the center vision that is the problem, and I only have
Right.
a very tiny amount right in the center that I can see, like for reading. If I have to read a line on the screen, I have to go letter by letter and kind of move the eye to see what letter it is. That's how I passed the eye test on that eye.
Oh.
But it won't get the
Oh.
colors. But she did have another test I've never seen before, or don't remember seeing, where you're supposed to see shapes in some strange background. It's either a square or a star or a triangle, and it's only if your eyes work together will you see them. Couldn't see a thing, not a thing. So my brain
Oh.
is obviously ignoring most of what my left eye
And
tells
your
it.
brain's like, we don't need to
Nah,
do
we
this.
don't
We're
need to.
not wasting energy on this. I have
It
not
was
done the
fascinating.
shapes or the colors yet, but because now I'm 40, my eye exam included the reading, like so to see if I needed progressives. I'm not ready for this. It's like I've been
Reading.
blind my whole life. Do I really need to be given progressives now? Like, come on, somebody cut me some slack.
Well, as we age, this is what I understand. Not that I did the research. The lenses in our eyes get thicker as we age, and that makes it more
Yes,
difficult to focus when
right.
the lenses are thicker. So, we're like reading a book where we have to focus. It's harder to focus on a book, so they give us
Right.
more. These are my computer glasses, so there's no progressive here. But on my
Right.
regular my regular seeing glasses, it's for distance, and then a little bit of progressive help
Down at the
if
bottom?
I'm if yeah down at the
So
bottom.
like you have to like look down.
That's why I don't use my regular glasses,
Is
my
this why
seeing
you're always
glasses.
looking down on me?
Yeah,
He's
so I
like,
can
I
see you.
must
I
read
want to
her.
see you. If I was wearing my seeing glasses at the computer, I'd have to be like this,
This is
and I don't like
hilarious.
being like this.
It comes
So I
at you
have computer
fast.
glasses, but
Uh,
progressive help.
they help, huh?
Yeah, because
Well,
it's too hard to focus.
uh, this is I like that you Luke refers to them as cheaters for everything. That is so funny. I I'm not thrilled about this, and because I swim, I usually wear like cheap knockoff prescription goggles, like a loose prescription, so that I can not crash into things and also see the clock. Um, but when I scuba dive, I used to wear my contacts and just regular goggles because they're very expensive. And my prescription changes constantly. But now I read a horror story about a woman who bacteria got under her contact and it destroyed her eye. They were able to save it. She doesn't have vision, but they saved the eyeball. But now I can't do that anymore. So and I'm also too afraid to get them lasered. I just can't take the risk.
Don't take the risk.
I'm not going to take the
I
risk.
don't know.
Plus, I mean, we're very cute in our spectacles.
I swim without spectacles.
How do you see where you're
Although
going?
I am a spectacle, I swim without spectacles.
The spectacle swims without spectacles. Okay, it is
It's time
time.
for the show.
Okay, be right back. No, it says episode
It
5.
said 5. What? I think we should
I'm
do that.
just lazy.
Do over. Do over.
Do over and cut that up.
Do over.
Listen,
We'll be back tomorrow with
I
episode
am,
6.
I am. There's a lot on my brain at the moment.
A lot on your brain.
Yeah, I'm struggling. What's on our show notes?
Let's see.
Do I have? Oh, I played the welcome trailer. Should we do an overview?
Who put that in there?
I think it was you.
Oh, or is that always in there?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
I don't know. I'd have to read it because I can't remember what I wrote in here.
Oh,
we don't need an overview. It'll just buckle up. We'll go wherever we go.
We don't know what's going to happen necessarily.
It says right here in my show notes that we should let everyone know that we have no idea what we're doing. No, that's not what it says.
Wait, it literally says overview of topics for today's episode. Then let everyone know we've no idea where our conversations might lead, which is how the first episode began, because we had no idea what was going to happen.
We still don't really.
So we don't. It's really just an excuse to hang out.
Yeah, that's all it is.
And
having a conversation.
Pretend we're productive. Plus, we were talking about eyeballs.
We were talking about
which are very important.
I like mine.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of mine, but
I'd rather have mine than have none.
I can't argue with that. And look at our chat. It's bopping.
Is it bopping?
It's bopping. We
Luke,
have
Wendy Sue.
Yeah.
Doug. How do you pronounce Pertinux?
Pertinux. And we also have Jeriana, who was here earlier and may still be here, but has greeted us. So good morning, everybody. Welcome.
What time zones are y'all in?
I'm hoping for...
My question. Are we all on the East Coast?
This is fair. Thank you for coming to say hi. We're going to talk about you today. You'll probably miss it.
But wait 15 minutes because we have to wait till she's gone.
We have to wait. Terrible, terrible.
Central. Okay.
Mountain,
what am I?
Central.
I'm Central. You're Eastern, right?
I'm Eastern, but I grew up in Central, so I get it.
Oh, do you?
I understand it.
Not in my experience.
Hey! That's true. Historically, between Eric and I am very bad at time zones. Like, really bad.
Everything has to be Z time, just so...
Everybody has to adjust because I'm very bad at it. I don't know what's wrong with me.
I don't mean Zulu time. I mean Azizah time, Z time.
Everything has to be...
Yeah.
I mean...
East Coast.
Oh, wait. Cherie... How do you pronounce it? Please, can you phonetically type it out for me? Because I like to make the effort to get people's names right. Even
Cherise. It is phonetically typed up. Cherise.
Is it Cherise or?
It looks like Cherise to me. It looks like the end of cheese. Cherise. It could be Cherise.
Okay. Anyway, moving on. First of all, why do we have 2 episode sixes, Eric?
Do we?
Yeah.
No, this is episode 6.
This is a repeat of
we just announced 6. in the intro that it's episode 5.
Yeah.
So we're doing this little time travel thing, almost like they did on Groundhog Day in that movie. Speaking of which, Shreeze.
I like your name.
Shreeze.
I like it.
I wonder if that's Shreeze or Shreeze.
Reese's.
Like Reese.
Reese.
With a spoon.
Sorry. I forgot. Yeah, no, it's Groundhog Day, but more importantly, it's episode 6 again because it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
We should talk about that because we were going to do episode 6 2 weekends ago, perhaps.
Was it
3, 5? I don't remember.
2. I think it was 2.
It was we were going to do it at the Philly Pen Show. We were both there.
We were ready. It's not not like we slept in and missed it or something. We were ready.
And then what happened?
I am the culprit. The night before at like 2 a.m., which is fine. The time was not the issue. I'm going to bed, like I'm getting ready for bed, and I noticed that my throat, like my voice was very strained.
Do you talk to yourself when you're getting ready for bed?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I don't have an inner monologue, so everybody has to hear what's going on.
It has to be out loud.
It's very unfortunate for everybody but me. But I felt it was strained, and I was like, this is not a good sign, because basically it feels like they're swollen, and that's actually probably what it is, right? When your voice is strained. Maybe
your vocal cords are pissed.
Yeah, and then I woke up the next morning and I had no problem because it was very early that we had scheduled the show, and that was not the issue. The issue was that every time I would try to talk, I would go into a coughing fit because it was like so dry and fried. And the talking would have been fine because we had mics, but the coughing fits were, first of all, very painful on my throat and muscles. But I wouldn't have been able to catch my mute in time and all that. And we just decided to not. And by we, I made the executive decision
Yeah, yeah,
that
Aziza pulled the plug.
I'm so sorry.
I think we need to apologize that we had like 50 people waiting to be in our studio meeting.
Hundreds, actually.
Hundreds,
We had to
hundreds
turn
of
people
50,
away. Hundreds, hundreds of singles,
hundreds of singles.
hundreds of point ones, maybe.
Yeah, so we're
But
sorry.
I am very sorry.
Aziza's fault.
It is, and I felt so bad about it. Like I really felt awful because I don't usually back out of things as of late,
No,
historically
that's
maybe.
true. That's true.
But it was really a matter of just not being able to handle it. So I'm so sorry. Here we are about to rock your socks with today's entertainment.
Today's entertainment will have to be twice as good as usual because this is a double episode.
It's a very low bar. Eric, what's going on in your life? Tell us.
We should mention Ingo Raimo.
We should, because it is day 2. Happy Inco Raimo.
Yeah, happy Inco
and
Raimo.
Doug is already on it.
Do you know what Inco Raimo is?
I vaguely, but I feel like maybe you should tell us.
Can you tell me what Inco Raimo stands for?
Yes, International Correspondence Writing Month.
Oh, very good, very good.
Of course.
Yeah, it's a challenge where you challenge yourself really to write one letter or postcard or note
or napkin.
Whatever, or napkin.
Any sort of written communication, really.
Written communication, and make sure it's on its way to delivery or been delivered. Put it in the mail or hand it to the person. Each one a day, every day in the month of February.
And what I always try to emphasize, this is not about getting replies.
No.
This is a challenge. It's a you challenge.
You might get some replies.
You might, and you might make fantastic pen pals, and that's super fun. But the idea here is to just encourage people to reach out, to write something. And it's like, it's 28, which seems like a lot, but there's also a lot of places, a lot of people you could write to that are already out there. So I just put the IncoRaimo link where in the chat up in the business where people can exchange addresses.
Yeah, there's a place where people are exchanging their addresses, and those are the people who would be very happy to get correspondence from anyone.
I think so. But don't feel pressured if somebody writes to you to reply because it's part of the challenge. That's not the challenge.
You should send one a day every day in the month of February, but you might already have your names picked out.
Yeah. Are you doing it?
I do it every year. This is year 11, by the way.
It is year 11.
Year 11.
My gosh. Hang on, I got to write this down. 2025, year 11. So, well, year 12 is not really.
Yes, a dozen. The idea,
a dozen.
The original idea was not about receiving mail. And it wasn't even about sending mail. It was about using fountain pens because I needed an excuse to use my fountain pens.
Yes.
And so that's how it started. So what's a good way of making an excuse? What's a good excuse? I need an excuse, a reason to use my fountain pens. And so it was in January, and I said, February.
Why not?
Send a letter a day.
Well, January is also apparently the most depressing month of the year.
Oh, really?
So it's a nice month to start looking forward, like to gear up, to be planning, distracted by IncoRaimo. You know what I mean? Like plus January was very interesting.
It takes as much effort as you want to put into it because a quick postcard is really easy and it counts. I like postcards.
And I like the idea because for people who want to invest a lot of their energy and effort into it, that's fine. And for people who can't or are not willing or able, that's also fine. You just postcards. I love it.
Yep. It's fun.
It is very fun. So that's where we're at. That's all.
It's IncoRaimo.
It's IncoRaimo.
It is Groundhog Day. I believe I saw someone in the chat say that Puxatawny Phil saw his shadow, which means we're going to have 6 more weeks of winter, which surprises me not.
We got, I mean, it's like hell has frozen over.
It was cold yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, literally, though.
We got a dusting of snow overnight. The pretty kind, though. It'll be gone by noon.
Oh, so not the real kind.
Yeah, it's a dusting. It's
Hey,
just
Eric, you know what
decorative.
shirt I'm wearing?
Oh, what is that? Just here for the wieners. Where'd you get that shirt? That's
Well,
hilarious.
it is hilarious. I got it from an Appleton meat market.
Uh,
Hand served, delivered, hand
Hand
served.
delivered,
I was about to say hand
hand
serviced.
served.
Hand served by yourself. And as you know, I acquired several others to give to special people local to me or close enough. And they all are, first of all, my girlfriend was blown away that it's a shirt from an actual meat market.
Yeah,
Because
it's
when
from
she
a meat
saw it, she
market.
was like, "What's that for? Meat market?" And I was like, "It's not what you're thinking.
Yeah,
It is
and
a,
by meat market we mean a butcher shop.
it's like it's a family-owned butcher shop." And she was blown away. She's like, "What? That exists?" I'm like, "Okay, yes." So anyway, um, I'm very
And
much enjoying it.
that particular meat market is known for their sausages.
Oh, which is
Oh, are we
like
good?
what?
We didn't get no. We got no money for this.
So we didn't actually,
They're not sponsors.
but
We're
we
not
should
being
have.
sponsored.
We should have. Okay, so now tell us what's going on in your life,
What is going on? Well, it's February already,
which
and it
is,
seems like we just had Christmas and New Year's,
I mean,
and
we
then
did a month
there
ago,
was the Philadelphia Pen Show. So
which
that's like
was two
losing
weeks
two,
ago.
but it just goes by in such a blur.
Hmm.
You blink, and we're already in February, and I can't believe we're already in February. So that's what's going on in my life. I'm just surprised at how fast time is going by.
It is going. It is going. It is moving, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost time to start planning for the Philly Pen Show 2026, isn't it?
Well, when we had a debrief meeting,
Yes,
um,
or a couple.
a couple, but like shortly after the Philly show, and you mentioned, so we got to start planning, and we were both kind of mortified because it's like already, but yeah,
Yeah, the best shows are planned early, as we have found out.
yeah,
Yeah,
and then we were surprised. We were like, wow, what did we do differently this year? Well, maybe not doing it last minute.
yeah, and it was a fun
Plus,
show.
it
Were
was
you
a
there?
fantastic
Did
show.
I see you there?
I did
You
happen to
must have
show
been
up.
there.
I
You must
did.
have been there because I gave you that shirt. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we thought like a little debrief of the show would be fun. What do you think?
sure. I had a great time.
What did
I
you
thought it
buy?
was. I bought absolutely nothing.
Pathetic.
That was not my plan. That was
Right?
not my plan.
Right.
I had hopes of getting one of the new Monarch mini stub
Right.
with a pen to go with it because, of course, you can buy them separately,
Obviously.
but why bother?
Well, at that point, you might as well get a pen that you like.
Unfortunately, that young man who runs Shown Design, Ian, did not have the nib I wanted and did not have the pen body I wanted.
What nib did you
So
want?
I wanted the Monarch mini stub, I believe he's calling it,
Yeah, but
but I wanted the matte shine, the matte
oh, you
natural.
wanted a very specific one. Okay.
Well,
Like the satin finish,
the
which is
satin finish.
very pretty.
Yeah, I had none,
Yeah, none.
and so he had the shiny ones, which are a close second in my mind.
It's true. I did pretty much buy them all. Just
You didn't
kidding.
get one of those, did you?
No, I did go to purchase the shiny one because it's a little cheaper than the anodized one, but then I saw the anodized ones and I was like, oh, well, I might as well
Yeah,
spend a
the problem with the
little bit more.
anodized ones is that you need one of each. Because who can decide on which? Or I suppose you did, but it's how do you know which?
I'm like, what's the problem here?
I I want the satin standard one.
Yeah,
It goes with everything, and you don't need to buy 20 so that you have every version.
no, that's fair, but you don't have to buy 20. You could just buy a couple.
But I want to buy.
This is the one I got.
It looks green.
It is green.
Okay.
It's a minty green, which is my colorway as of late. So, um, I actually didn't buy this one. I bought a different color because somebody bought this one out from under me, and then I saw it later at the bar, and I
That was
nearly,
happening a lot, wasn't it?
I
Not
oh
just from under you, but from
uh, yeah,
yeah.
I was ready for the end for that person. Anyway, it's fine because we swapped, and then Wendy Sue bought Eleanor's pen out from under her. unbeknownst to
Well,
Wendy Sue.
we
Nobody knew
didn't even
Eleanor
know there
wanted
was
to.
only one version of that one off. It was,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. There's and so wait, let me do this. Um okay. This is Wendy Sue's
Recap.
video. She did a recap. I know I'm trying to see what
Oh,
first of all,
Nibbage. I saw
here is
Nibbage.
Nibbage.
Nibbage. I have
Um I watched this morning while I was preparing and it was so
That's the pen
hilarious.
right there.
This is the pen
That we
right
had
here,
no
folks.
idea there was only one.
You know whose fault this is? This is Franklin Christoph's
Frank
fault.
House. Yeah, it's
That's
not
right.
Franklin's fault.
That's right. Everybody needs to go and ask him, what the
Which
heck, man?
pen you only have one of?
How dare you? It is
But
very
good for you,
interesting.
Lou. Good for you.
Yeah, good for you.
At least,
I'm glad.
yeah, at least I
Oh,
can say I know the person who got it.
there's also cute stickers in here. I got to touch it.
You got to touch it.
She actually trusted me to touch it and not steal it. I don't
You
steal
sure
from
you didn't do
everybody. I only steal from
Oh,
some
you
people.
don't? There are
No,
people
and I
who
don't
let you
even
get away with it.
steal. It's like a borrow and then I'll pay you back at an appropriate time.
Yeah, we're all waiting.
Or never. No, I'm just kidding. But this is a really fun recap video if you're curious about what the experience of a pen show was like, not necessarily focusing on the purchased goods, but more of what it's like to go talk to a vendor that you're excited about, like Sugar Turtle Studio. So it's if you're new-ish or just want to understand what the Philly experience is, I very much enjoyed this. And also, Kimberly, All the Hobbies, has done an extensive. I mean, it starts with food, but an extensive photo and text recap.
There's the pen. There's the
There's the
pen. She got a
pen.
picture of the pen.
She, had we known. Anyway, I think she's got some really great shots in here because I didn't even explore the big ballroom, which is usually what happens. I usually just make it to like one small room, spend all my money, and then have nothing left,
Yeah,
which is what happened.
understandable.
And understandable. And so hey, I didn't know this was here.
Yeah, you're there. Look
I'm
at
gonna
that.
save this.
Gonna say
I'm
that.
gonna save that. Um, this is a very interesting comment. Um, not getting emotionally invested. Hey, how does she have a screen?
That's Michael Ward's screen.
Oh, I could have used that, as it turns out, which is fine. Oh, look at this! This is a great setup. I love this picture. Anyway, I haven't had a chance to
It's
look through
all
this.
if you haven't seen this blog post before.
I haven't. I sent her some pictures that I took or that are on my phone, like this one's on my phone. Anyway, this was killer. This that she did.
What she did with that was, I mean,
Eric, what is
we
this?
had totes,
Okay.
and a couple of us thought it would be fun to have them signed, but she's the only one who had a Sharpie, and so she went around and got all the signatures, and
Clever girl.
it is fantastic.
Clever girl.
It should really be framed.
It should be framed.
Use it.
I mean, yes. I use mine all the time already. It is weirdly convenient.
But yours isn't signed. If you had one that was signed by all your,
I would still use it.
Pen show, would you?
Absolutely.
I would.
I'm a user, remember? I don't believe in putting
Yeah, we
things...
all know that.
Not, excuse me. That's true. I don't believe in putting things away and not using them.
That's right. That's right. I think the rule is she gives it back to Eleanor now.
It was Eleanor's baby, right? The totes?
Yeah, she forced us to do them.
It forced us.
Yeah, I mean, who hasn't been talking about totes for 8 years? And
yeah.
But you know, like, blah 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 blah. And she said, "We're just doing them."
But you know what? Sometimes it's that's the key, right? Is to just like, okay, I'm gonna just do it.
Just do it.
And like, not that anybody cares, but this is how I got back swimming. I was thinking, oh, I gotta plan it out and figure out what I'm gonna do and look at the times and make a schedule. And then at some point I was like, I'm gonna just go and just see what happens.
And what happened?
Well, it worked out. I did. But it works out fine. Like nothing happened that was bad. That sounds really stupid in a way.
Suppose it's because you already knew how to swim.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Okay.
that does help when you're going swimming to go lap swim. That does help. But you know, you kind of think in your head, "Oh, I have to do it at the perfect moment and it has to be right." And
Yes,
you know?
that's at least for me. That's an easy trap into which to fall.
Yeah.
Is the planning process I really enjoy. The
Right.
doing, meh.
I mean, this kind of leads me into one of our topics that we thought about.
Oh, have we? Did we?
Do you remember
Okay,
Asana?
surprise me.
Do you remember Asana?
Asana. Did we were going to mention Asana? We can mention it
Well, we have to because I basically broke my brain last night.
with
Um,
Asana.
no, well,
No.
partially because I was trying to transfer the data that I put into Asana over to a mind map.
Yes.
And as you pointed out, okay, so here's the backstory. Not that anybody
Okay.
cares. We're insane.
Well, we might get some comments about what works for other people.
This would be very
We're
helpful.
trying to look for programs that will assist in project management, basically.
Yeah, that need to
Because
have calendars.
every aspect of our life is a little project,
That's
whether
the
it's
problem. We're a
a Philly
multitude of
Pen show
projects.
or going for a swim. Everything seems like
Yeah.
it could be a project.
Yeah, like we're like 30 ferrets in a trench coat, not one large
Yeah,
ferret.
and every ferret's got a different
Brain
brain
plan.
and job
But
and plan.
exactly. And so we thought we would look things up. And this kind of came about because we were trying to figure out how to prepare for next year's Philly, like to organize things in terms of due dates and making sure things are
Planned well,
planned and so that
what
we could
what
forecast,
order
right?
things have to be done in.
Yeah. See, well, that's a great question, Pertnux.
So we came up on Asana. We had Asana and Notion, and
Yeah.
we said let's give Asana a try. And independently, we both did, and independently, we both hated it.
It's beautiful in terms of its power and appearance,
But
but it's too powerful in that it's too complicated. It's too much.
I'm gonna say it's too much, and
Like you can't even delete a task. You have to remove yourself from it. What is that?
I couldn't figure out how to make it less complicated because
And it's just not built for the level that we need. That's really for corporate workspaces,
probably
teams.
big
I
team.
mean, we're just too smart for it.
So we decided to try something else, and after some hemming and hawing, we decided on Xmind,
Yeah.
which is a mind mapping
Which is
program,
a
which
great
is
idea.
fun. I enjoyed it, and the learning curve was not nearly as steep as Asana. And I've done two project planning things in Xmind, but it gets me nowhere because at the end of both,
Right.
I said I could have just made a list.
Right, right. And so we're kind of stuck. And so Pertnex mentioned Microsoft Planner. Um, I didn't even know about this. So I'm gonna have to go look at this. We're trying to fix our lives. We tried plotters, didn't work. We tried Hobonichis, didn't work. Um, this, yes, enterprise level software is what
Yeah,
Asana is. It's just too complicated
too
for
much. All I need is a place to list
individuals.
the project, the tasks that go with it, in order of if sometimes tasks need to be made in order, and
Yes.
some due dates, and then have that show up on a calendar or a timeline or something so that I can look at something and say, oh, next week I have to do this or else we're going to be in
Yeah.
trouble.
And of course you could write this down, but the problem is when you need to move tasks around
Yeah, dragging and
without
dropping.
rewriting everything, right? So we're still on the fence about how to fix everything. I have tried Google Keep. I've tried doing things in Apple Reminders, Microsoft To Do.
And ideally, it would be one program that keeps track of everything.
I would love if it would cross my calendar with like the projects, and so yeah, I fear this might be something that afflicts me, and executive dysfunction, of course. So amongst other dysfunctions,
But we haven't looked at Notion yet.
we
I
haven't
fear
looked at
it
Notion.
might be as complicated as Asana, and it might not be. I haven't looked at it.
And it's not that we're not willing to put in the time and effort
No, I can
to
learn
learn.
things. It's
It's
just
more that is
Asana
it
didn't seem there was no light at the end of this tunnel.
right. It wasn't like this is fitting. This is looking
Yeah, this
good.
tunnel was collapsing upon me.
It was a what the actual beep tunnel. And it was just black in the tunnel. It was just getting worse
Yeah,
as we
yeah,
and then it's like the canaries. The canaries were perishing
they
ahead
died.
and
Yeah, they
yeah.
died.
And so
We abandoned that project.
this is a great exactly. We don't want an interface that requires more energy to try to do than the outcome gain.
Yes, that's I understand you. We're going to have to. There's a learning curve
Yeah.
where we will have to invest some more energy into learning how to make it just sing for us.
Yeah.
But Asana was not even warming up.
It was like what is going on?
Yeah,
And it was I mean, this makes me think of Pertnex a while ago said something about the plotter, where it's like more people spend time trying to figure out how to make use of their plotters than just using them.
I make perfect use of mine.
I am
They're
guilty
they're
of.
keeping my desk drawer very warm. Thank you.
Are they warm?
Yeah,
They're sweating
they're
because they're
hot.
not being used. They're like, oh man, we're gonna get retired.
Decomposing, really.
Luke, which one are you talking about here for this particular one? Because Luke says
Version 1 of what?
not aware of calendar integrations, but has many features you're talking about. Let's find out. Yeah, let us know which
Version 1 of what, Luke?
Dragon
Asana
Drawer.
version 1?
I don't think so.
I'm not sure I even want to look at that.
Dragon Drawer says Todoist, so I'm going to write that down. Ideally, we would also like something that is cross-platform and it syncs with our phones and computers.
Yeah, not cross-device is what you mean. Syncs with all our devices, and so that we can share a project.
Yes, we could both collaborate on a project.
Yeah, we have to be able
This
to
is yes. Thank you, Pertnex, for pointing out the shameful obvious.
That's
But
that's always been my. It's how I have 5 of them.
Oh, he's not kidding. It's called
just called version 1. Okay.
Wow. Thank you, Luke. Sorry, I'm slow. I don't know what this
called
means.
version
Simmer.
1.
He's like
What's
these
the unsaid
idiots.
word? The untyped words there, you idiots.
Yeah.
Called version 1.
And wait. It's so good. This is really helpful to have your feedback because I have no idea what I'm doing, and I spend a lot of time. I waste and lose a lot of time trying to fix everything, and it's not working.
Or
Well,
fixing things?
I'm not even at the planning stage because I'm not even there. I'm at the how do I organize this so that I can even plan stage. So I'm like way
And see
behind.
that might the mind map thing, Xmind might work on that because it's a mind map where you
it's like a brain dump that I can
it's a
move
brain
around.
dump, and that
Okay,
it has a purpose for that. At least the free version does. I wouldn't pay for that.
Organize to plan.
But then once you have all the ideas in that mind map, you have to organize them on a calendar.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You need to be able to somehow identify the things that are due or projects in progress.
What are the due dates? What are the priorities? What is the order in which things have to be done?
And I also wonder, how do families with multiple children and various schedules to coordinate, how on earth does anybody remember this stuff?
That's a calendar in the kitchen that you handwrite things
But
on.
what about when you're not in the kitchen and you need to see your calendar?
I think you commit the next week to memory.
I mean, that is possible.
I mean,
like
there was a time when none of us had devices at all.
I don't know.
Computers.
I don't know, Eric. We are youngins, so we've only always had devices.
I have not always had.
No. Yes, we have.
No.
Yes. Let's say that. So, how did you manage your projects?
Notebooks.
Oh, with paper and pens?
Yeah, paper and pens.
What a weird concept.
Yeah, each project had its own notebook, as I recall, or if you go back to
Huh.
school, each subject had its own notebook. And,
Right. I
but
do
it
like the
seems like
movie
we could do a
Memento.
better job.
Tattoo it on yourself and piece it back together every morning. Uh, Thank you, Simmergy. The problem with the calendar is I need details of my tasks that are in the calendar. Trapper Keeper. Thank you guys for these suggestions. I'm writing them
Trapper
all
keeper.
down with, ironically, a pen on paper. Trapper Keeper. Not in my plotter, though.
Not in your plotter.
I would never. That seems insane. Wow. Okay, okay. You can add notes to each entry in calendar. But I also need to be able to add images, links, all that kind of stuff. Also, don't make too much sense because I want something prettier than Google Calendar because it's really ugly. Um, Eric, I understand you also have two new roommates.
Yes, Fred and Wilma.
It took you a minute there, right?
What are you talking about? I got two little ivy plants from Home Depot, and I put them in one pot, and one's Fred and one's Wilma.
That is so
Now,
cute.
I will say that someone we both know pointed out that there's more than two plants there just because you bought two plants. And I said, okay, I've got Fred and Wilma, and Betty and Barney and Pebbles and Bam Bam and Dino. They're all there. So yeah,
Yeah.
I got an ivy for the living room,
Oh, it's
an
so
English
cute.
ivy, not a poison ivy.
Are they low maintenance plants? Are you
They're
a
not high maintenance.
horticulturist?
I am not a horticulturalist.
Well, a
They need water
horticulture.
and a little bit of light.
Okay, so not like they need like particular humidity and
No,
a light fondling of the leaves every other
yeah, no,
day and
they're
a
not
massage
orchids.
of the stems.
Not that I don't massage them. They just don't need it.
They're like this guy's weird. Hmm. What prompted this?
Well, as you may recall, one of our guests was Michael Ward.
Yeah. I mean,
And
I kind of know, but I like this story because I think
Michael Ward
it's
and I were
important.
talking via text the other day, and the conversation turned to plants and went on and on and on and on because he has plants and plants and plants and plants. He lives, I call it a nursery. He's got plants everywhere. And I was getting pictures
Oh,
and pictures and stories and pictures and stories. And he has three beautiful ivies, and I decided right then and there I needed an ivy. So yeah, very shortly thereafter, I went on a search for ivies, and I found a couple.
I love that his passion inspired you to get a plant.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Passion
mean,
is
we know he's
contagious.
very good at that, but it's really neat to see it in effect, especially for you because you're very sensible in terms of
Huh.
what you're gonna do. Well, I mean, for example, with the monarch, you knew you wanted a particular monarch, not just any, and you didn't
But
cave to
no,
any.
if the Monarch were a $20 pen, I'd have picked up a couple.
No, of course,
But
of
this
course,
is, I need to get the one I really want if
of
I'm gonna.
course. I'm so excited for you, though. What's gonna be next?
As far as pens or plants.
Plants.
Oh, I don't know. I have no plans. No plans.
Oh, you need a plant plotter. A plotter
I
for your
have,
plants.
or just pick one. I can make
You
it into a
No,
plant
you need a
plotter
new
for
one.
the
You need to
week.
plot your plants.
Plot your plants with plant
Yeah,
plotter.
that's right. That's what you need.
Don't plant it, plot it. Punch.
I think you
Yeah.
should get one. Or
A
I think you
plotter?
should do
No,
this.
no.
Or
Plotter's
even a
dead to me.
section. Okay, here's a question. Plotter has project managers, which seem
People.
absolutely useless.
Oh yeah, the fold out things,
Yeah, which is
which are
first of all so freaking
littlest
tiny.
little. Yeah. How do you even?
I mean,
No.
and they're in colors that are sometimes so dark you can't write on them.
You can't write on them. Yeah.
And so I just use them to hold a section of papers that are in a particular topic, but they're utterly useless, just cute.
Yeah, I've never used a single one because who can write in that little tiny line?
I Someone needs to fix my life for me, Eric. And it has
Yeah.
to be someone other than myself. That's the key.
Well, maybe version one will do it. We haven't looked at version one.
Which app version one?
It is called version one.
Yeah,
It's an
idiots.
Irish
It is
company that
version
makes
one.
version one. It is version one.
Okay, okay.
But that must happen a lot.
Well, only if you're
You
an
can't call
idiot.
your app version one and expect people not to say version one of what?
Simmer, can you please elaborate on what you mean by using stickers on the project managers while I ask Eric a question or show him what I bought? Eric, I bought
What?
stuff.
What you buy?
Okay, listen, don't judge me. Stop
No,
it.
not yet. Not yet.
Okay, I
Depends on what you
bought
bought.
I bought a spirograph kit. So you
Okay, they're
can
fun.
I, I thought this would be great to do. Well, first of all, I wanted it. And then I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I could do it with my nieces. And
Uh-huh.
then I saw, oh, they have world's smallest spirograph.
Oh,
And it is so like look at this. So this is one of the cogs that go in the middle.
yep.
Um I tried them out last night. This is my first time spirographing.
Ever?
I ever.
Yeah. See, when I was a kid, this was our one of the apps we used to keep ourselves
Oh, what are they?
occupied.
Oh, I grew up very poor, so we didn't have access to this kind of stuff. And now I'm still broke because I'm stupid, but I very much enjoyed it.
You're going to show us your work.
No, I already threw them out
Okay.
because they
So
were testers.
yeah, they're sort of meditative, and then you get a what is ostensibly a piece of art at the end that you
And
throw
then I was
away.
like, I don't need these particular ones. But what I wanted to do with them was I have a couple fine and extra fine nibs. And I wanted to do it with those and see how the inks blend as I cross over. And I just thought it would be interesting. But also, I really wanted these really cute tins
Yeah. Where'd you find those?
from the
Online somewhere.
the satanic Amazon
Online
Prime.
somewhere. Okay.
Yeah, online somewhere. It's all fun and games until your pen slips. That did happen because I got very excited.
Yeah. You got to be exactly. You have to know your limits.
There's
They,
also world's smallest etch a sketch. It's like teeny little
yeah.
thing.
I didn't have a lot of luck with Etch a Sketch.
I'm not very good at etch a sketch, but I'm really into this, and I really just wanted the tins. So that's my story. That's what I bought.
Okay. I'll allow it.
That's
That's all you bought?
well, as of late.
You said I bought stuff. I was expecting a laundry list here.
No, well, no. I mean, oh yeah, no, I did. I also bought watercolors. It's
In a little.
these. So they are granulating watercolors and the Aurora series by Kuretake. Um, it's funny because they all look the same in the pans. Like they're all like a disgusting murky brown.
Yes.
Um,
I'm gonna go back. You said granulating.
yes,
What is a granulating watercolor?
Eric,
I mean,
I
I
don't even
assume
know
it
how to use water.
granulates.
I have no clue.
Oh, okay.
It's just that the box said that. But I don't know how to use watercolors, but I love the effect of watercolors. Oh, see I wanted these because oh, the colors of these watercolors separate to create whimsical and dreamy effects. The degree of color separation and blurring may vary depending on the type of paper used, which is very much like fountain pen ink,
Yep.
right? Depending on the paper that you use. And it says nothing about granulation. It's great. Thank you. Okay.
You just made that
Nothing.
up.
Well, no, it actually says granulating colors. But I think
Granulating.
these are the granulations. So it's like that's the idea they were going for. It's like a more precipitated section of the watercolor, and when it gets onto the page, it adds it's like saturation. You know when you have sheeny ink and it's crusty? Like that would be granulation in the
I
ink.
have never had crusty ink. How dare you?
Your ink has been crusty. Surely. Okay, dot stickers on the nope, Symergy, no idea what this means. Dot stickers on the plotter.
Stickers on the plotter project manager with pencil project task entries. No.
What? No, absolutely not.
No. I need
refuse.
a computer-based version.
I absolutely not. Absolutely not. Okay, so our last idea before we do word association, because we have a bit of time. We were trying to think, what do you sane people want to hear us talk about?
Oh, yes, I remember that conversation because we don't have to talk about just pens or pen
And we also
related.
don't want to necessarily because
Yeah, it's not really. It's a circus, so everything's invited.
yeah, and if it's relevant, like Philly.
I
We
do.
just
I do.
had
Before we
Philly.
move on from pen stuff, though,
Oh
uh,
yeah.
do you have your nibbage with you? Because I have my
Yeah.
nibbage. I just want to know, did you get any stickers? I got stamps. I got some stamps.
Yeah. I got a
What are the
couple
stamps?
stickers.
I got
Oh,
stamps.
I have two. You went around on Sunday and
I got some stickers. Yeah, I got some
your
stickers.
nibbage went all out and I love it. It looks really fun.
And then I got some autographs too. But I think we did count these already, and you
We
beat
did
me.
count. You
Even
won.
though I did.
I think so.
I think I don't remember.
No, I think you won. Oh no. I had like one more autograph, but you had way more stickers.
Yeah, stickers I won because you left.
Yeah,
You left on sticker day.
well, the plan is that next year we're flying. Oh, here we go.
I got Tom to sign his page back
Oh,
here.
that was clever. I didn't even get
He
his
drew
on here.
he drew a turtle apparently. I assume it's a turtle, not a tortoise, because it's on Sugar Turtle Studios page.
Oh, well, tortoises. I don't even know what the difference is. It doesn't matter. Somebody keeps asking about your bicycle.
Bicycle?
Losing letters as hope fades. Let's move on.
This bicycle behind me is my touring bike, meaning it's the one you could get on and ride to California. It's long distance, heavy steel, made for long, slow rides.
Not speeding.
Yeah, this is not.
And it's also not a mountain bike. It's a
It's not
road
a mountain bike. It's more of a road bike, but it's specifically called a touring bike because it's sturdy and basic and made to go very long distances without trouble.
Do you? Well, I know in the summer you do cycle, like you go places on
Yeah,
your
this is
bike.
its winter home. I don't
You know what
do
I love?
touring.
It's clean.
What's clean?
Your bike.
Bicycles are supposed to be clean.
Well, I have seen bikes where people just don't look after. I guess it's like people's
you
like,
gotta
dirty
clean them
pants.
after each, especially
Like a
dirty
season,
rides.
right? Like it's at the
No,
end of your
after each
season.
ride.
Oh.
Well, depending on how dirty it gets.
I would love to get a bicycle, except it would get stolen so fast.
This bicycle I purchased from an Australian company, and it was actually shipped directly to me from Tasmania.
Holy smokes! Did you get to customize it?
No.
Okay, because I was gonna say it's not hot pink. Not that you would pick that, but I would.
It was just I did a lot of research on touring bikes, and it's the one I wanted, and it's the one I got.
What is it?
The name?
Yeah, I can kind of see the name.
Around.
I'll allow it.
It's a Viventi, and the model is Anatolia. I don't believe they make the Anatolia anymore.
Huh.
I liked everything about it. What I like most about it is the gear ratio on the gear that helps you get up hills was the best. Because you don't know you don't know how big that hill's going to be, and what
you know what kind of gear I would need is like the electric ones, where it's like when they have the little bikes with the little motors. That's what I would require to give me a little bit of a boost.
That would be nice. I have looked at. They have some nice electric bikes now.
But then you might as well drive if you're going to be using power. Well, maybe not.
An electric car.
Yeah.
I don't know. They just look fun. They look fun.
Here's another question. With this as a touring bicycle, do you have others?
I have a Trek road bike that is, during bicycle weather, is my everyday bike. Yeah.
So this is not your everyday bike?
No, this is someday I'm going to ride that thing up to Canada and down to California.
Well, okay. I mean, there might be a wall between us pretty soon, so I don't know where you're going to find the cross. You're going to have to actually cross at a actual thing.
I usually cross at an actual thing.
A vintage Schwinn University. You know, I am fascinated by bikes in that I love how they look and I love the details, but I am very old and lazy.
What does one have to do with the other?
Nothing. I just can't. I can't be a cyclist. I also don't like sports that I need tools. I like just the sport that is just you. You know what I
Well,
mean?
cycling though doesn't feel like a sport. That's why I enjoy it. And swimming is the
Oh,
same. Swimming doesn't feel like anything other than just having fun.
that's why I like swimming
Yeah.
because I don't want gear, which is one of the reasons I'm very bad at archery and I don't practice, is because there's too much gear.
Yeah. How many pens do you have? Shall we move on?
I have a lot of pens. Why is that relevant? Because they're tools, but they're small tools.
It's gear is what you have is gear. And you say you don't like gear and you have all kinds of gear.
For sports.
Well, fountain pen, we should make it a sport. Isn't it a sport? Competitive
How
fountain penning.
how would that ever at the Olympics? What
Yeah,
would
it
it
doesn't
be?
have to be the Olympics. It just has to be the Philly Pen Show. We'll figure out how to make that happen.
Somebody got to write that down. It's got to be you. I'll write it down.
It's got to be you.
Okay. Philly competitive fountain penning.
So just to recap, Philly, did you have a good time?
I had listen, I've been to a lot of pen shows.
Have you?
I have. This was my favorite, not just my favorite show in general, but this was my favorite pen show experience that I've ever had.
Oh, ever?
Ever.
Yeah, that's because I was there, right?
It is. It's
Yeah.
also because I made sure to remember to eat meals so that I wasn't burning out. Um, and the folks that were there were really lovely. And I first I was also very reasonable in my spending for the most part. You know,
I
like
was
I've been
very
to
reasonable.
shows where I've bought 10 pens, which is insane.
Yeah, I
It's
think that
insane. That
was
is that's too much. It's too much when you go to shows regularly. You know, if it's
yeah.
like once in 3 years, then sure.
I would have
Um,
purchased a pen if I had found a pen that I absolutely could not live without.
do you
But
even have time to go look at pens?
I went and looked at the places that would have pens that I might purchase, like Show
Well, you
Design.
actually, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. But you were actually, you knew what you wanted. So I'm a browser. I will buy things that are shiny.
Yeah, yeah.
But it
Well,
was a fantastic show, and
I thought
the
so too. It was
you did
really,
a great job.
yeah, we all did a great job.
Well, we did, but I mean, you make sure that everything comes together, and you did a great
Yeah,
job.
I'm the project manager. Look at
You
that.
are,
You don't need a. I am the project.
you are the project manager. Oh god. Yeah, only 10 pens in one show, but also lots of ink and paper. That doesn't count.
It depends on
Accessories.
those 10 pens. Was it 10 preppies? Because
Nuh-uh.
my first
Mm-mm.
pen show, I got 20 pens, and they were all sorts of. But it was my first pen show ever, and it was like Disneyland. And
What was your
I
first
was
pen show? Was it
the LA
DC?
pen show.
Oh, the LA. Oh, of course, the LA show. Okay.
Yeah,
Huh. Which is no longer a show. Is that correct? Or have they
hasn't it
changed?
morphed into the California pen show? I think it's because it's
I don't
February in the
I don't
same
know. It's
neighborhood-ish.
very
I
confusing.
believe the LA pen show is now called the California pen show. It's different organizers, and
Oh,
is this month and
it is soon.
whatever
It's
it is
yeah,
this
like
month.
2 weeks, not
Yeah.
even. Or whatever, some date. Okay, I'm
Speaking
excited.
of
I
that,
want the next part.
what's your next pen show?
My next pen show is I am booked for DC. Um,
I'm sorry.
I know. I did it because the hotel sells out really fast. I'm not sure I'm gonna go yet because I'm also I have a project on the horizon that is costly, and so I would like to funnel my money to that. Um, it is
Or
kind
get
of a
more money.
it's kind of a grail project for me. It's not pens. It's completely separate, like a personal thing. And I'm very excited about it. So I'm kind of thinking about it. And also, I'm not teaching workshops anywhere but Philly anymore. So I'm like, I don't
Yeah,
have,
I
you
only
know,
need to go to the DC pen show about once a decade
yeah. And you went and got COVID.
to remind myself why I don't really like food.
You
It's
went and
just
got
it's too
COVID.
much. It is too
It's a
much.
lot. It's overwhelming. And whether you want to or not, unless you go with no money and no resources, you end up buying stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't want to
Please.
end up buying things I don't want or need.
Oh, well, good luck to
And I
you.
have no self-control. So,
None.
not when it counts anyway.
So
But
you're going to DC. You're not going to Chicago because I think Chicago's my next one.
well, I might switch
Oh,
and do Chicago instead.
because Chicago's May, and I
Chicago's
suppose
May. So
the
the
issue already.
I'm waiting because the appointment that I'm waiting to hear from is supposed to be in May. And knowing my luck, it'll cross, I'll book for Chicago and it'll be like, this is when your appointment is. So,
Well, I do suggest you book for Chicago because it's one of those you can cancel the room
okay,
like
because they have a new
48 hours
hotel now,
before.
right?
Yeah,
Okay.
you don't. It's not one of the pay in advance hotel rooms.
Right, right.
So it's
Okay.
better to get the hotel room just in case.
Yeah.
Surely you'll know a week ahead of time.
Yeah.
Surely.
Yeah, I will. I will. I will. Yeah. Okay, I'm ready. I'm
So
ready.
yeah, that's what I've done. I have not purchased a ticket for Chicago, but I did book a room
You can do that later.
because I can do that later. I can
You
do
could
that at the door if you want to.
you could, you could, but it might cost you more.
So before we move on to the word association, because I got the words ready for you this week,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
we started to ask the audience if you could just tell us what things other than pens you might be interested in hearing about, like bicycles
Or
or
nothing.
plants
You
or
might be like,
pianos
shut
or
up and stop.
worms, whatever.
Oh, absolutely worms.
Worms, you like worms. Yeah,
Or the world of Stanley Cups and the confusion that I have about it. We can make this very opinionated. We have lots of opinions. Nobody wants to hear them.
we do. We talk about
Uh,
sailing and sailboats. I
we
like
could
it.
talk about crusty ink.
Yeah, I
Planting
love.
nightmares. What is a planting nightmare? Are you referring to plant like horticultural nightmares? I can talk about plants but I could talk about like mosses and lichens and bryophytes because I'm a huge nerd and I love mosses and lichens. Like
Mosses
uh,
and lichens. What was that third one you said?
bryophytes. So it's like
Bryophytes.
yeah,
I am
it's
unfamiliar with a
when
bryophyte.
they cross. So it's when you have a like the symbiosis plants and there's so many fascinating symbiotic relationships between like an algae and a moss and
Oh, kind of like us.
kind of except
Yeah.
we're like staphylococcus and human.
I have 5 words ready if
Okay,
you're ready.
I'm
You're
ready,
trying to postpone this.
I'm
So
ready. This
everyone in the
is
studio audience can get your papers ready. I'm going to give
I'm ready.
Aziza 5 words one at a time, and she's going to write down the first word that comes
Okay,
to her mind.
okay.
And then at the end, you can all compare notes. The first word is swashbuckle.
Okay, that's weird. The imagery, I saw it
I
and
don't
I
want
went with it.
imagery, I want a word.
No, no,
The
there's a
second,
word.
the second word is asteroid.
Asteroid?
Asteroid.
Okay.
The third word, if you are ready,
These are gonna make no
or
sense.
even if you're not,
I'm ready.
is purgatory.
Okay. I feel like this is a hint.
You ready?
Yep.
The fourth word is disaster.
Okay. I'm not gonna be good at this, but
It seems like you're writing a book.
no, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Yeah, but you're writing a book.
Oh yeah, no, I was making a note of a topic.
The fifth and final word, Ms. Z, is ragamuffin.
Okay, I was expecting something else.
Were you?
Okay, I've got my 5 words.
All right. The first word I said was swashbuckle. What's the first thing that came to your mind?
Leather.
Leather.
I am not sure that makes sense. What is a swashbuckle? Ooh, check out these words. I like these. Buccaneer, pirate, and horseshoe.
Yeah, buccaneer, meteor, hell, current, waif.
Oh, yeah. Okay, what's next?
Asteroid.
Oh, I said fox.
Oh,
I
because you
think
were
I was thinking
thinking
of
the
Petit
Petit
Prince.
Prince?
Yeah. And your prized, one of your prized pens.
Yeah.
2 people said meteor, which is cool. Oh, I like that pen a lot. Okay.
The third word was purgatory.
I said oops.
Oops.
I'm sorry.
The fourth word was disaster.
I also said oops.
Again.
Again. It was a double oops.
What'd you get for ragamuffin?
Blue.
The color blue?
Yeah.
Because you thought
Why?
of blueberry muffin?
No, because in high school I used to call my friends Little Blue something, and one of them was Little Blue Ragamuffin.
Little blue ragamuffin.
Yeah, I don't know why I was bizarre. It was a
Well,
sad life. But
sad.
I like being on the receiving end of
Oh,
this.
do you?
That's what she said. Um, yeah, yeah, I like this. This was fun. I wrote
Yeah,
down
that
a
was fun.
topic, plant to plant communications, because I'm very much into that.
Did you say plant to plant?
Plant to plant. This was
Plant to plant.
Simmer's recommendation was plant to plant communications. I think gardening would be hilarious because I have no idea what I'm doing. Photography, I don't know. I let my phone do stuff. But I like these ideas.
Yeah, we're willing to talk about anything.
I mean, whether we should
And
or
we
not.
often do.
We do. But we are pretty good about keeping to our rough topic line.
Yeah, if we have one.
I mean, we are professionals.
We are professionals. It's almost time to fold the tent, but before we go, you have to tell people when we're going to appear again because it's not in 2 weeks.
It's not in 2 weeks, and the reason is it's my fault because
your fault. Blame is it. Hashtag blame Z.
Hashtag blame me. So we would normally do the first and third week Sunday. So the third week is February 16th. I am not here. So it's going to be March 2nd.
Which is the first Sunday of March.
Correct. Sunday, March 2nd. And at 11 a.m. Eastern, obviously, Z time.
Yes, Z time.
Appear in my house.
So it's a
right
month
now,
from
please.
today, actually.
I mean, I will certainly still talk to you.
Oh, that's a pity.
In between, but in case anybody else, I mean, everybody in here knows, but I also do pen live streams on my own channel.
Yeah, this is not. You're not leaving for a month. You just aren't available
it's just
on that day.
Our time frame.
That day you're not available, and we said, "Well, just skip it rather than try to reschedule."
This isn't something that we are like religiously sticking to. It's a fun thing that we just do for fun.
We would talk anyway.
So we would.
Why not have an audience?
Well, we're a little more polite on air.
We are that.
I mean, I don't call you a bitch as much.
Yeah, if we had some alcohol, maybe.
I mean, I would. I mean, I don't even need that to call you a bitch, but you need to be mean for me to call you a bitch.
Like in public? I'm not mean in public.
No, never. Here's a question for you, Eric. Our show's the only chance encounter will we have? Yeah, you got to go to Philly.
Our show's the only chance encounter we will have of you.
Right, Philly.
Philly and probably Chicago. I mean, it's not like you could go to, when it was open, you could go to AP and find me there because I didn't actually work in the store.
He was BTS,
often not there.
BTS. Philly is now passed, so Chicago is your next option. Yeah. But Philly is the way to go. Eric, here's a question. Will Chicago have a special nibbage?
Not this year, no.
Is it because it's very soon?
Well, we did a special nibbage last year for Chicago, but it was very limited print. And it was mostly for the vendors.
Right.
Who I knew also went to Philly, and it was a way of attracting vendors to perhaps advertise in nibbage. That did not pan out, so I am now.
I mean, in fairness, we didn't really.
Yeah, but I mean,
but still,
they didn't take me up on it. I didn't call them each individually either.
They do now, where they're like, "Wait a minute, nibbage is awesome." It's like, yeah.
But I have now decided that nibbage is no advertising.
Yes, so it is community funded.
I think that's actually better,
or will be theoretically, right?
Theoretically, it's going to be larger next year.
Currently, it's just Eric funded.
And it's fun. It's fun.
It is a lot of fun, even though we want to bash our heads into the wall sometimes when I make a change and you're like, I have to go into InDesign and change this. And I'm like, yeah, but it would look so nice. And then you change it. And I'm like, can you change it back?
But tell everyone what the most fun is about nibbage for you personally.
Like
it's a safari. It's a safari for you.
Oh, we do this thing. Okay, when we're doing the final editing, we do things called Typo Safari, where I get to look at it and find all of Eric's typos. And I know he makes typos just because it makes me excited to see them. And then he'll like feign something. He's like, "Oh, how did you spot that typo?" Meanwhile, it's so obvious. Like his name is misspelled or something. It is our favorite thing. It is my
Yeah,
favorite thing.
that's a fun thing to do.
I absolutely love it. So Typo Safari. I don't do it for my own stuff though, so there's that.
You
It's
don't have to.
only
You make no mistakes.
ever.
Ever.
It's more fun to Typo Safari somebody else. And right before we leave, am I going to Chicago? I do not have concrete plans to, but I'm gonna look at what Eric said of just booking the hotel just in case. And then if I'm unable to make it because my appointment comes up at the same time, then I can cancel it. So, okay. Well,
Okay.
thank you. Thank you all for joining us for this fun.
Yeah, that was fun.
Thank you, Eric.
See you in a month is what
We'll
we'll
see.
do.
Well, I'll see everybody else in a month, but technically I will be online on Monday night at 10 p.m. Eastern on my channel. Okay, are you ready for the outro?
I am.
I love it.
Can't wait to see what it says.
Okay, bye. Hey.
Okay, bye.